Joe.
Black Killa.
With blood, watch our IG, taking it back, way back. And I ain't talking about just with rap. Videos, interviews, real talk, Chicago news, ill state, trendsetter, Teflon up to the core. You can tell what we about. We step your foot up in our house. And once you done watching this, go line and check Chicago Cookout. We on, yeah, we on. This ain't no such thing as halfway show. We on, yeah, we on. So tuned in to get tuned out. You know what to do now. We on, yeah, we on. We on, yeah, we on. We on.
Joe.
Black Killa.
You understand?
Oh, I got the perfect answer for that.
Please give me that.
It's beneficial for artists to release mixtapes only if they're willing to put the work in behind it. Like, let's take an artist from here, Chella H. You know, you gotta respect her grind. She everywhere. You know her brand, the Mermaids. You know Chella, even if you ain't heard a song, even if you don't like any of her material, like you know her brand, you know her. You know, you see her at every party. You know, you see her at every function, like big functions. You know, that's what you gotta do. Like, it's too many microwave artists out nowadays. They feel like they can just stick it in and come out hot. You know, like they feel like, oh, I'm gonna drop a mixtape. Like, who knows you? Like, are you gonna do street promotion for it? Are you gonna try to take a lead single to radio? Are you gonna, are you gonna work your record in the clubs? Like, it's elements to this. Are you gonna stay local? Like, Chicago is not the end all be all. And that's what a lot of artists fail to realize, and that's what a lot of artists think. And don't think your next market is Atlanta, because everybody try to pack up and run to Atlanta. And that's not, like, there's no guarantee you're gonna make it there either. Like, how many Chicagoans run to Atlanta that have made it? How many? Honestly, like, for all the artists that have packed up and thinking Atlanta is their savior, how many records have come out from Atlanta? You get a more intense network, that's cool, but use that. Don't think Atlanta is your savior. You got markets right outside of Chicago. You got Iowa. I encourage my clients. Man, you got Iowa, you got Rockford, you got Wisconsin. Wisconsin an hour and a half away. You know, you got all these different markets. Small markets, start with smaller. Like, if you can't pop in Chicago, or if you can't pop in smaller markets, what makes you think you're gonna run to LA and now you're gonna be, you know what I'm saying, this big wig, become famous? Like, you gotta secure your market. You gotta do the work. A lot of people put out mixtapes and, like, Nobody ever heard of them. Like, they feel like they can just, you know, like, I don't know, like, I just see a lot of lazy artists nowadays, man. It's like microwave shit, like, just a lot of lazy artists, man. Like, they rather go on shopping sprees than put the money they have to put behind their projects. Working radio, leaving this market, you know, like, they'll spend $10,000 in clothes and won't spend $200 in studio time. You know, it's ridiculous. Like, are you doing this as a hobby? Are you doing it for real? Like, don't call my phone to become a prisoner of your fantasy. You know, like, I don't need that. You know, people call me all the time, man, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. And a year later, and that's true, months later, years, like, that's just like the same people who see me out for years, always ask for my number. I try to be polite, but half the time I be like, why? Like, nigga, we ain't did nothing in 10 years. Like, you know me for 10 years, ain't never used me. Like, what the fuck do you want my number for now? Just to store it in your phone, yo? Like, I don't phony kick it, you know, like, but getting back to the question, like, it's very important for artists to put out mixtape and bodies of work. For one, you never know who's gonna pick it up. You never know who you're gonna be able to put that physical copy or send a link to pick it up. But it's very important that you work it. You can't just put it on that piff and expect 100,000 hits. You can't just put it on World Star, you know, your video on World Star and not promote it. I see people talk shit all day on Facebook, but I'm like, yo, you got a whole single out and rarely say anything about it. They expect it to work itself. And that's a fantasy. Then they get mad when DJs don't play their shit, but like, who are you? Are you in clubs? Are you in the club? Do you support the DJ? Do you get how do you expect anybody else to get behind your brand and you're not willing to get behind your own brand? That's what these people expect. And I tell people, man, I spent 60 grand. I had 10 people on Street Bullies. My own money, like no street money, no drug money, no nothing. All accounts. The music business was very good back in the day. And I survived off all accounts. 60 grand I dumped in my company. Dumped. Had nothing to show for it. No Range Rover, no nothing. Just, man, paying to keep my company running. Paying my, you know, people that was working for me. Paying, you know, for different vehicles out of promo vehicle. Like, man, I spent 60,000 for real, and my people can attest to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, going broke, spending, believing in myself, but that's cool because our hard work and all the money I spent allotted me the lifestyle that I live today. Like, it made my brand number one. You know, that's why, and now in the climate of the internet versus paper product, I still make, you know, quite a bit of money because people still believe in what we do because we good at it and we give people the awareness. That's what people don't realize. Like a mixtape, it's awareness. You want people to be aware of you. Like, I know rappers, they rap with, they don't even have business cards or flyers. You know, like people dismiss the power of print, right? But I tell people, like, if I give you a flyer, you know, say you pay $120 for a box of flyers. If you give 10 people a flyer that look at it, retain it, like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go to the website, check him out, whatever. That's your money right there. People don't see it. Same thing as concerts. Like, I take the Live Nation approach to things. When I throw a show, I don't negate anything. I don't negate the internet. I don't negate paper products. I don't negate radio. I don't negate Texas. Anything. I do it all because I'm gonna cover all bases. Too many people feel like, oh, I'm just hot. Like, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Rappers tell me, listen to me, man. You should listen to my shit, man. We hot. Like, man, you know what I mean? People tell me that. Tell me your shit on the radio. Tell me key DJs playing your shit. Tell me you getting 20 spins. Tell me you got product out. Tell me you got a mixtape. Man, I even though I shouldn't, I still buy some people mixtape just for the fuck of it. And then when you put out product, man, make sure it's great quality. Man, don't make it sound like you record. Like, I might want to bump it. Don't make it sound like you recorded in your basement. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't make it sound like, you know, it's a poor quality. Like, man, when you do things, like, you gotta give it that, you know, like, I get so much music and the production is horrible, the beat is off, like, it's just bad. I'm like, yo, what if I want to bump this? I can't bump this, it's terrible. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, like, people won't, like I say, but they be fresh to death for the fucking Gillespie shoes, Giuseppe shoes, rather, Robin jeans, the trending shirt, and they give me a product that don't sound like it got $50 put into it. And I'm like, that shit just don't, I don't know, like, you know, like, you sold me your character, but now you ain't selling your product. I can't put your character live in concert. I gotta sell your music as a promoter, as a person that does street team and throw shows. How would I give the next person your CD and tell them that you should book them? And I got something to expound on that too. Get your fan base up. A lot of people negate that. As a promoter, especially like a lot of you little Chicagoans, man, y'all be coming to me talking about I charge $1,000 and all this goofy shit, but can't get 10 people in the building. Let's do the mathematics, right?
Please.
JB, let's do the math, yo. Okay, you want to charge me $1,000. Let's say my ticket's $20. Can you get 50 people in the building that justifies me paying you $1,000? Can you bring 50 people out? Now y'all trip, oh man, you won't give me $1,000, but you'll get Rich Homie Quan, and you'll get the Migos 15,000. Yeah, because when I get them 15,000, they guaranteeing me a certain amount of people that's gonna make my money back. Right. Now if I give you $1,000 or $1,500 or whatever price, $2,500, these are ridiculous ass prices y'all be trying to charge, can y'all bring me 50 people that's gonna justify that? Stop listening to your homeboys telling you, man, you need to be charged. Man, you need to charge. That's how the business works. The artists charge, and that's why I don't book a lot of artists. I'm not giving you 50 grand, and then when I go on certain Boosie, that man, he won $100,000, and every promoter that took an L across the country. Are you fucking serious? Do you think I'm gonna be booking him? Hell to the motherfucking no. I'm a real promoter. I'm gonna get on Polestar. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of you niggas don't even know what Polestar is. That tracks the ticket sales of a lot of national artists' concerts. So if I go to Polestar and track On the Run tour, I'm gonna see they've sold 850,000 tickets and the tour's gross $1 billion fucking dollars. So if I did have the power to book Jay-Z and Beyonce, which Live Nation is never gonna let any independent promoters ever do in their life. No offense to Live Nation, hire me. Like, I will be booking Jay-Z and Beyonce no matter what their price is, because I know they're gonna fill up places like Soldier Field. Now, if I book Reggie's and you can't fill up 15% of that, why should I pay you $1,000? Why? Tell me. Like, you have to get your fan base up. Like, yo, I was in New Orleans, Webby, when what's that? I worked the record too, so it's gonna be embarrassing if I can't remember it. But Gimme That came out. Gimme That Pussy. It was on A Top 99. It was a popular record in his market before it came here. Before he got signed to Asylum. Shout out to Asylum. Before Warner Brothers or any of that, before his deal. Atlantic, I'm sorry, he was signed to Atlantic, not Warner Brothers. Same wheel, same family. But I went to a club, you know, a lot of the clubs in New Orleans ain't that big. They hold 200, 300 people, they closets. Man, he got up there and performed. I swear, they must have closed at 2. He got up there about 12:30, rocked that bitch. I'm like, damn, you know what I'm saying? This before I even, like, damn, man. But when he left, the whole club left. Man, it wasn't nothing but me, security, and the DJs in there. I'm like, damn, I can't even talk to no chick. He took everybody out this motherfucker. But that was the power of building your fan base. That's what a lot of Chicagoans lack. And I am like, it is just the honest to God truth. And I tell all my clients that, you know what I'm saying? Like, how many people can you bring out? Like, you the shit, you so hot. Like, and like bringing your friends that want to get in for free ain't bringing people out. That does me no good. Like you, so like, and then like, that's really gonna piss me off. And then tell you I'm not wanna fuck with you again. Cause now you wanna, not only do you want me to pay you, but you wanna bring 20 motherfuckers in with you for free. Like, what the fuck am I paying you for? Not only am I losing money by paying you, I'm losing money by all these bodies that you got into my space for free. You want to bring 20 people, I just lost $400. And that's at the early time. This ain't at peak, when I might be charging $50 to get in. Like, oh, it be in this business, it's a lot of shit you got to consider before you take the path or direction that you want to take. You know, some people like, man, my shit on the radio, I'm hot, I'm this, man, fuck that. Niggas need to be paying me $3,000. No, the fuck they don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, you need to bring out more than 8 people. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. Like, I don't give a fuck how people take it. It's the truth, fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give a fuck.
Joe.
Black Killa.
Dobson Mars.
I just had to get this off my chest. Cause niggas got to feel how I feel.
I think it is and it ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like a two-parter to that. Like I think it is because, you know, you definitely want to get your sound out there, your music. You want to let people know from a project base, you know, like this what I sound like, this what I be on. But as far as like how you say, like that's why I kind of go back to what we doing right now, you know, and if the question can be, you know, like a little bit tweaked to if you're trying to get on or what you're trying to do, because right now it's only gonna take that one hit, you know, like that one song, that's all you need, you gone, you know. So it's like, you don't even really need no mixtape. Once you get your song out there and all of that, the mixtapes, that shit go come, you know. But it's definitely good to, you know, get your groundwork, you know what I'm saying, build it up, you know, and have people knowing who you is out in these streets.
Okay, now speaking of mixtapes, do you have any that's currently here?
Oh yeah, definitely, you know what I'm saying. Check your boy out, man. I'm Dat Piff Crazy, you know. Straight Out the Dugout, you know what I'm saying? Volume 1, you know what I'm saying? Still on Our Game, Volume 2. That's the compilation of, you know, some of the guys that I work with. I got 2 individual solo projects that I was working on. I got my Major Music Volume 1. That's out here, hosted by DJ Sean Mack. You know, definitely get in tune with that. Then I got the Books and Blunts. You know, that's definitely on that piff also. I'm working on a project right now called No Dream Sold. Okay. Yeah, man, I've been working, man. I'm just out here trying to get it, man, like the next man.
And where can they, and all of these projects can be found on
all of these projects, man, that Major Music joint, the Books and Blunts, that's on that piff. All of these joints, the No Dream Soul, you're gonna be able to get in tune with that on that piff and live mixtapes. But you know, yeah, I'm out here though, man. Google, I got a couple videos on YouTube, man, you know, to go along with them, man. Check me out, man, Killa Clint, man.
I think now, more like me personally, I'm into, I release a single, you know what I'm saying? I put the single, hey, iTunes, you know, see me on iTunes, here goes a single. I mean, you know what I'm saying, if you have to, yeah, like you want to get material out, so a mixtape can be a good thing, but you know, 50 Cent, you know, they kind of oversaturated and kind of killed that whole mixtape thing. So anybody putting a mixtape out now that think that's how they gonna get on or whatever, like, yeah, I mean, I wish them luck, but I mean, that ain't really my thing, you know. I go the single route. You know, I live the single life.
That's dope, homie. You are aware of.
Dude, I'm so tired of that damn term. It is ridiculous. Yes, there hasn't been a mixtape put out in 20 years, and I have one at the house right now. The last mixtape I heard was by Funkmaster Flex. I haven't seen a mixtape since. Everybody talking about ain't nobody putting out mixtapes. Stop saying you putting out mixtapes, because that's not what it is. And a mixtape, let's talk about what a mixtape, the purpose of a mixtape was. Okay. The mixtape was because DJs had a lot of influence on what was getting played. And there was no discrimination. If it was a new young cat coming up in the game, man, they get it over to my man and he put it in his mix. And that's what got you started to becoming circulated and people started looking for your sound. That's not what's happening right now. Cats now ain't even DJs. Cats say they DJs, they not DJs. They damn record players. They're fucking record players. And a DJ is a guy that can control a party. He can see when the floor's getting dead and put on that joint that make everybody get up and move. He got some verbal, he got lyrical skills. He has an MC's presence and he can command a party and make things go on. These record players can't do that. They looking for, man, okay, this one 94 beats a minute. I gotta find one that's 94, either 95. And they don't care what the song is. And then they play what they want to hear. And that's, oh, dude, that drives me crazy. And I kind of went off tangent with that, but you know, I have a problem with that whole mixtape thing. I would never put out a mixtape because first of all, I'm not finna use somebody else's beats. I'm coming at you with original stuff. That way, when I put in the copyright, it's mine. When I hook it up to my ASCAP, it's mine. If I'm gonna do a mixtape, we would have to go back to using tapes again, first. Second, I'm not using some watered down garbage that I'm hearing. I'm going back to a classic. And then I'm gonna give the person that was originally the creator of that their due credit for it. Ain't no more respect in the game, dude. So the mixtape, I don't buy the mixtape joint, man. I can't get with it. Because you got cats hosting mixtapes and they charge you the significant amount of money and they don't even believe in what it is that they endorsing at the moment. And if you don't believe it, why would you even put your name on it? That takes away from the excellence. So they done watered down that game and I ain't got a lot of respect for cats to say that they doing mixtapes.
Yes, it's beneficial for artists to release mixtapes. And I believe that it's beneficial for artists to release mixtape at this day and age because one, the recording studio don't cost as much as it used to. A lot of people have in-home studios. They can record semi-good quality music, and people have a short attention span. Okay, so if people were responding to quick messages at 140 characters, this is what they used to listen to. They can't wait for a year and a half, 2 years to hear from their artists, because their artists could get replaced really quick. So I think the benefit to making mixtapes these days is it's a way to keep your brand going. Keep your brand going. You understand what I'm saying? So you don't, as an artist, you can't make a advertising commercial like a corporation, but you can make an advertising commercial like a corporation if you're smart. And that's why releasing songs in between releasing songs in the form of a mixtape in between projects is always good, because you always want to make sure that you're in your people's face, especially in this microwave society. People forget you real quick. People forget you really quick. That's the benefit.
Well, you know what? I gotta ask you this. Now, where is the bread? Now, let me give you a scenario. This is the scenario I use for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You have an artist. Let's say the artist that doesn't have the in-home studio. Let's say he has to go to a professional facility,
mm-hmm.
$40 an hour. He needs 4 hours. So you're talking $160 a week.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see numbers in my head, but let's say 100. Let's say he goes 4 weeks. He does 12 songs in a time span of 3 months, pardon me. So let's say we're looking at, let's say he spends, $1,000 recording music, okay?
Okay.
Another $250 on artwork. Another $4 on mixing and mastering. So let's say all together he's probably spent almost $2,000. And he uploads the project on whatever mixtape site there is to give it away for free. So where's the connection? Where is the plus in? Where's the benefit in doing that?
Okay, here's the benefit.
Especially seeing that that's the day and age that we're in right now.
Okay.
Where this is what's happening.
Here's the benefit. The truth is, my view and experience is this. If you're getting into rap as a hobby, that's not a good idea to have a mixtape to spend that type of money. Now, if you're really getting in and you truly want to win, you have to realize that your name, whatever your name is, Lil somebody, Big somebody, you have decided to become a business. And when you decide to become a business, you have a product that you're trying to get to the people. Okay, and when you have a product you're trying to get to the people, most people don't realize how much money is spent by a business to get the word out about their product. It's a reason why Super Bowl commercials cost millions of dollars. Okay? The reason why is because you have to spend money on advertising, marketing, and promotion to get up to what's called a point of sale, to make people want to engage with you. You can't fall out of the sky as a grain of salt into a big ass salt quarry and just say I rap. Okay? The old saying, where there's smoke, there's fire. The mixtapes are smoke, and your project ultimately will be the fire. There's money in producing smoke, bro. Real talk. There's money into producing smoke. So here it is. When you sit down with whoever you're jamming with, if they gonna keep it 100 with you to help you as an artist, they're gonna say, bro, even drug dealers get free pass outs before they open up a strip. You have to get the word out, bro. You're a business. And you're not gonna make it just off of word of mouth. You're not gonna make it off of word of mouth. So you have to have a budget. Okay? And we in rappers, primarily, they don't have the mainstream and traditional ways of letting people know that they got a record coming out. They can't, okay, that example you just gave me, they might spend upwards towards $3,000 to make a mixtape. They could either do that or spend upward towards $100,000 to try to get on a local TV station for a very, 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 very small spot that will run for a very, very short time. That's not even their target market. So if you take this seriously, before you even open your mouth to say I'm coming out with a project, you need to sit down with somebody in the room and come up with a budget. And these marketing strategies need to be a part of that budget.
I'm glad you asked this question. This question is so important. This is one. This really works my nerves. I have an artist that be with me like every Saturday. His name As Is. His hustle is so strong that it's crazy. He refused to give you a mixtape instead of selling it, which makes sense. A lot of our local artists right now that's actually doing mixtapes right now, they're actually giving away music. You pay for your studio time, you pay for your travels, you paying for your hard work of your mind, you paying to get it on the wax, and you give it away? Shit. Are you serious? Sell it. I would more respect you more as you selling it. Even if I don't listen to it, the circle still goes around by you actually profiting. You're not going to profit too much now unless you have a big budget, and most of the locals don't have budgets like that. To give away 300, 400 CDs, man, I ain't giving you nothing. Try me out. Make me listen. I think we should do more as far as promoting a site that actually helps the local artists, man. Because our local artists, it's the most great raps that's out here, you don't even hear. You know what I'm saying? You hearing only what we forced to hear. The GCI played it, or whatever station plays it 1,000 times, then they make us like it. Luckily, I'm not a radio person, so I only listen to what actually catches my ears, and the radio ain't finna make me do it.
Now, with you being clearly heavy in the marketing and promotion, if you were a rapper, how would you market and promote your product? Because I think a lot of the young cats don't necessarily know how to market and promote the product in a way so that someone would want to buy it.
Well, first of all, before they even buy the product, they buying you. You know what I'm saying? You the one who's doing it, right? So they buying you first. Second of all, you have to believe in yourself. A lot of these guys is halfway in the game. Whereby they want to rap, and sometimes they don't want to rap. The consistencies of a rapper actually makes you like him. You know what I'm saying? If you keep seeing this guy 1,000 times and he keeps selling, and he's by the expressway, you eventually, man, come on, man. Give me one of them CDs, man. This man out here every day. That would make you do it. And then, you got to stay on all the social sites. You got free social sites. Why don't you take advantage of that? I know rappers right now that don't even have social sites.
Wow. They have product.
They have product. But they don't like dealing with the social sites. Most of the street guys do not like dealing with the social sites. Are you serious? And they free? What other site is free? I'm on there. And all the apps you can put on your phone. Is that hustling backwards, or is that just me? We have to get into the technology right now. We coming into 2014. This is a social site world. How can you not eat off the social sites that actually exist now? A lot of my sales come from the Instagram, the Facebook. A lot of my sales come from that. You can do a marketing promotion, even if a rapper's out here right now. I'm gonna give them a tip. Even if the rapper's out right now, you got your own fan page on Facebook. Then you can do a promotion on your fan page. It costs you $40 to reach probably like 20,000 people. You pay $40 to reach 20,000 people, and you ain't got to leave out your room? What's the hold up? The only thing that's holding up a lot of rappers right here is not knowing enough knowledge to do it. That's the only thing holds us up. And a lot of us don't want us to see the other person do it because they scared that somebody gonna get there before them. I want you to get there before me. I want you to be more successful than me. By that way I get to borrow something.
I don't think it's beneficial. I've said it 1,000 different times. You know, if you're looking for somebody that's know your name, and there's a zillion other mixtapes out there every Tuesday that's being dropped, whether on Dat Piff or whoever, you get lost in the shuffle. A mix CD is a bunch of tracks. If you got 12 tracks on there, 9 times out of 10, 11 of those tracks are already industry tracks that some major rapper rapped over, and you trying to spit your joint over it like a zillion other rappers are doing. And you rapping it just like that rapper did, so the main rapper. So what makes it any good, period? Like, it's nowhere near good. So it's a waste of time. I mean, if you want to get my attention and I think you want to be long lasting, you're going to make a mixtape with something original to it, or an album. Just make an album. When you listen to Fabulous's Soul Tapes 1, 2, and 3, he got original music all on. Those could be albums, period. He just chooses to call them mix CDs. You know what I mean? To me, that's making a statement. A mix CD right now is just garbage. It's talentless. It's showing that all you doing is copying everything everybody else done. And when it's time for you to make an album, you don't even know how, because you don't know how to structure music, because you're so used to rapping off something that's already got a structure, already got a chorus and everything else, so you're not doing nothing.
So what do you think about cats that's actually putting together original music, original projects? Like, let's take, for example, you know, let's take everything original that you've ever done and putting it out and classifying it as a mixtape. What are your thoughts on that? And giving it away? So
someone that the average listener knows what a mix CD is, and the average listener knows what an album is. You call it a mixtape when it's all original because you probably don't have the machine to push an album. You don't have that label backing to push it as an album. And then you might have not got some samples cleared or whatever. So you just want to push it out there, but you want to show the people your originality. A person like me and other consumers will be able to know that this is all original material. This is an album. I'm not going to call it a mix CD once I listen to it because I know it's an album. Whereas to, you know, a cat that just rapped over everything that's hot over the past 6 months, you're going to know it's a mix CD, and you're going to call it that because you're probably going to listen to it one time and then put it in the garbage with the rest of the mix of garbage in your can. So, you know, you're not going to care. You know what I mean? So the consumer knows the difference.
The benefits of releasing a mixtape. Music is I'm going to have to quote the homie Danny Brown on this, is no longer just a selling transaction. It's an advertisement for everything else you're selling. So mixtapes are necessary because they're advertisements for who you are, which is probably dating back to an earlier question in regards to rapper versus lyricist. You know, the lyricism has become like not as popular of a selling point. So, you know, not saying that there isn't a home for it. I think that we've seen artists prove it time and time again. But the more sought out after, you know, selling point has been or advertising leg has been good rapping, and you want to be able to create this bounce or this vibe or this energy and use your mixtapes as your flyers, as your commercials, as the advertisement for what you represent. And I think is very necessary. You know, at what cost? You know, I wouldn't say you shouldn't go as well. Who knows? You know what I mean? I think that the situation may vary per artist. You know, some guys are able to turn their cult fan base into, you know, consumers. And if you don't use your mixtape eventually as a selling point, I would suggest that you have something eventually that you can use as a transaction point between you and your fans. So I guess to answer that question, yes, it makes sense to give away mixtapes or put them out and give them away only if you eventually able to charge for your shows or sell your sweatshirts or, you know, whatever merchandising that you do have involved that you plan on selling.
I think it's beneficial for artists to do so because the way music is being delivered now digitally through, you know, iTunes and blogs and all, you know, sorts of social media, as an artist, you want to give away so much music to get people to know who you are. And then after you create and capture a fan base or a buzz, then you drop an EP or something to sell, just to see if those fans are going to stick with you, the ones that download your stuff for free.
It's definitely beneficial for artists to release mixtapes because at the end of the day, what is a mixtape? A mixtape is an album that you don't got a budget for. That's what a mixtape is. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you gotta put out music, you gotta release music. Now, if you wanna sell your mixtape, that's on you. I encourage you to give the mixtape away for free and sell it. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, somebody gonna give you some money for it. Most people gonna want it free, but somebody gonna give you some money for it. So why not sell it if you are, you know, if you can make some money off of it? Case in point, somebody chose to press up Chance the Rapper mixtape and sell it, and that shit actually charted. You know what I'm saying? And it was bootleg though. You know what I'm saying? Somebody made some money off Chance the Rapper because he didn't have his stuff, you know what I'm saying, in stores or on, you know what I'm saying, iTunes. You know what I'm saying? So imagine, you know, he going around the world, you know, he probably doing 2,500, maybe even 3,000, maybe even 5,000 now, 5,000 seat venues or whatever. You telling me that if he wouldn't have put the Acid Raps mixtape on iTunes, that it wouldn't have done maybe, you know, 50,000 units? Of course it would have, you know, because at the end of the day, a lot of people do look for free music, you know, but some people just want to just get it on their phone and just, you know, forget the hassle and just do what they got to do.
Me being a manager, it is very, very beneficial. It's almost critical. If you don't release your music, like I mentioned earlier, no one really knows who you are. So if you're dedicated and determined, you have to release mixtapes. You have to go to events that are free. You have to go to these shows that they're having at these different venues. Like I want to say Adriana's and the Rap Factory. And there's a couple of other things that you can do. But if you don't release a mixtape, or if you're not standing behind your music, you're not trying to be the best potential artist you can be. Before an album, you have to do a mixtape. You have to let people know who you are. So that's very, very beneficial and, like I said, critical.
I think that they should. Like, I'm a real artist. Like, man, bars us, like, we stand behind that. Like, man, like, so I will believe in dropping it. I like mixtapes because it's like it gives you a chance to drop as much material, push to get hot before you show the labels what you can do as far as the album. Most of my mixtapes kind of be like, somebody had never told me, I never forget somebody was like a hood album, like whatever you call it, you know, it's my own beats and I'm not rapping over nobody else's stuff. So whatever you do, I think, yeah, mixtapes is lucrative, it's beneficial.
How many mixtapes do you put out?
I'd say like, it depends. When you say put out, that, you know, I'm really picky with that word too, because some people could drop stuff and just, I just did a mix, they be like, I just did a mixtape, and you never ever heard it. Some people mixtape be artwork, so it depends what you, so if you did that, and you got a whole bunch of mixtapes that you put on your refrigerator, and that's where your artwork lies, then that don't count to me. So as far as stuff that you really put some muscle behind, shouts out to the Pope, I be seeing his posters. I have posters with Swagga Talk 2, like, I'd say Swagga Talk 2, Swagga Talk 3, with DJ Sluggo, DJ 864, then underrated with DJ Honors, DJ Hustlenomics, and DJ Boss Chick. So 3 that I pushed. And the other ones, I never did the other stuff.
Yeah, so you're saying, wait, so you're saying this cats that just get artwork done and put artwork
yeah,
down?
And that's powerful, and I'm thinking, I'm about to start doing it, you know. Coming soon, and it's gonna be soon. Wait on it, pound. Yeah.
And then you don't have to release nothing.
Never. I'm not knocking that. I'm about to do it too.
That is smart. That's real smart. You put something out once a month doing that.
Yeah.
Joe.
Black Killa.
On a roll in the street, A+ everything.
Right down the street where they killed them. Maurice where they sent them. Stopped them dead on the spot. Couldn't speak to the victim. I could speak on the system, but that's a typical story. I ain't preaching, I miss him. He get the kick you with Corey. Betty look over Kina. Say goodbye to Miss Alice. Butterfuko with me though. Know these streets is a mess. Swear the picture is vivid. Ain't no point of complaining. I ain't tripping, I'm living. Had it all with a jerk. Jagged it off like I'm horny. It could all be worse. That's the truth, but it's corny. Pop a bottle for pop, pour it out for my niggas. Only swallow Ciroc. These broke niggas is bitter. I ain't going nowhere. I'm in the hood like we Tim's, produced by BBs. Get ready to meet Sims.
It's beautiful. Hey, gonna take you a picture. This my grandma's thing. Her baby little sister. This the streets. This the streets. This the streets. This the streets. Said it's beautiful. Hey, it's the grand with no filter. Here go granddad's spot. And right there with that kicker. This the streets. This the streets. This the streets.
We major. Fuck y'all niggas. Fuck y'all niggas.
Ain't no peace in the killing. At an all-time high. Ain't no heat in my building. Down the street from Obama. I ain't even ecstatic. Wish I was in position. All I do is imagine. They say my money was funny and I was selling my link. I went right back to the store. It's just a felon in me. These niggas jealous of me. Right down the block where they stay. It's like we beefing forever, but see I'm not finna play. I heard them people was on me right when my grandmama died. Rest in peace, Jetty B. I put my ass on the land. Don't condone it at all. I'm endorsing the streets, putting food on my table. Least my daughter could eat, and it's beautiful, ain't it? I'd be damned if you differ. Came a long damn way without no dad in the picture. Look like he on the news. How come he looking happy? Cause DOC in the blue, then Crook County in khaki. Let's go.
It's beautiful. Hey, gonna take you a picture. This my grandma's thing. Her baby little sister. This the streets. This the streets. This the streets. This the streets. Said it's beautiful. Hey, it's the grand with no filter. Here go granddad's spot. And right there with that kicker. This the streets. This the streets. This the streets. This the streets.
EMG Studios. Shouts out DJ Honest. Stacker Star. DJ Hustlenomics. Let's go. Let's go.
Joe. Black Killa. Joe. Black Killa. Joe. Black Killa.
Dobson Mars. I just had to get this off my chest. Cause niggas gotta feel how I feel.
Mixtapes are productive, and they help your career because they give you an opportunity to give back to the fans. A lot of times your album cost, your single cost, your shows, any merchandise or anything cost. So the mixtape is a way to give back to the fans and say, hey, I appreciate your support and everything that you do for me. Take this free music, and it helps build your brand. It also keeps you busy. It gives you like, man, he just dropped this single and now he got a mixtape out. It keeps people intrigued, and it keeps you engaged with the fans, and that's one of the biggest things you can do. Also with the mixtapes, a lot of times the fans, the people want to hear you over those other industry beats. You know, if a Future song come out, some people might want to know, man, I wonder how Fabulous would have sound on here. Fabulous drop a mixtape with a verse to that now, you know, and it's just beneficial. It keeps the fans happy, it keeps you working, it keeps your pen game sharp and all of that. Now, would I say mixtapes are the biggest focus today? No. I feel like, you know, you have a mixtape out and that's necessary, but right now the way the industry is set up and everything is geared toward records. So I think it's more important to have a Billboard type record and single over a mixtape all day. But at some point, you know, the mixtape is necessary and add some validity to your campaign too, though.
Now, I have your projects, and honestly, I've heard more original beats, more original production. Yes, sir.
Absolutely,
So,
based on a true story.
based
Shameless
on-
plug.
Definitely not shameful. Would you consider that a mixtape?
I technically wouldn't, because it was one of those that I album prepared for this project.
Yeah.
I took a year, 14 months to put it out. I recorded 70 different records and chose from those. You know, every song countered the next song. A lot of times with the mixtapes, what you do, you make 20 songs and the hottest 14 out of the 20 goes on the mixtape. These were like, okay, now we got this song. Number 2 has to coincide with number 1, and they all have to flow and make almost like a movie type feel and create one whole mood and feel throughout the whole project. So out of the 15 songs, the only reason I would consider it a mixtape is because it's 2 beats on there that aren't original beats. Shout out to Chase Davis and Pressure from Monster Music and Boy Genius and Oh God out in Memphis. Shout out to the producers that contributed, but 2 of the beats on the project were actually industry joints, and so that's why legally I would consider it a mixtape, because I would have to. But as far as everything that went into it, the way it was executive produced, the timing, the everything put behind it, absolutely not. I like to call it a street album. That way you can take the emphasis, you know, legally you can protect yourself. But yeah, street album, and it's definitely been beneficial to my career and, you know, catapulted me into a different level of artistry and respect from the industry and the fan alone. So based on a true story.
How many units have you moved to date?
To date, it just made a year on the project. And first and foremost, we had some Chicago Independent Artist Awards, and the Based on the True Story project won Mixtape of the Year for me. So that was major in Chicago, yeah, for that. I have did about 12K in the street, physical copies by my own hand, no street team, just getting out here with a book bag every day, taking donations, whatever they give me, and just getting the work done for it. And also online, I'm at 11K online, and that's without that piff, that's without live mixtapes or anything. I went all through IamSinatris.com, my official website, IamSinatris.com. I posted the tape there. I use Hawkshare as a third party download for the tape and went crazy with it. So big shout out to Hawkshare, because the manager and owner of Hawkshare actually hit me and was like, we listened to your project, we love it, and we want to get behind it. And they created a banner for me on that page and gave me a whole Based on the True Story skin for a week, and just really got behind the project and pushed it and helped me get those numbers up on top of all the traffic that I drove to IamSinatris.com. So definitely something worth taking a listen to, because it's not anything typical, let alone got a Chicago artist, but any music today that you catch, it's a different type of feel, puts you in a different type of mood and place, and it's just quality music. Like, it's definitely been deemed a classic, and it's not just out of my own mouth, but just IamSinatris.com, Google it, Based on the True Story, hot new hip hop, whatever, and find out for yourself.
Man, you are the definition of the phrase on the shirt, man. We working what you doing.
We working what you doing. Absolutely. That is bigger than just a phrase. That is a lifestyle. That for independent artists, that's everything, man. You know, talent, you know, hard work beats talent when talent don't work hard. That's a saying that a lot of people familiar with and a lot of people use.
Say that one more time.
Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. A lot of people figure I'm so dope, everything's supposed to fall in my lap. But if you're not working, you're not getting it, you know. Big shout out to a motherfucker like Ice JJ, who got more followers and views than me, and I do this shit for real, you know. So yeah, hard work, but he got 200 videos on YouTube. What the fuck, you know? So talent definitely is not the answer. You got to work hard. But I just looked at it like, imagine that if hard work beats talent, what if you actually talented with that hard work too? You would be a danger that is very rare in today's scene. So that's why I pride myself on that work ethic and going hard, because I know it's gonna be the combination of both, not just being dope or being, you know, a workhorse with it.
Yeah, it's benefits, because But the way they're doing it now is kind of stupid. But to me, I think a mixtape is to display artist's skills. Original mixtapes was for them to display skills over other people's beats that's familiar. If a person hears a familiar beat, they're gonna instantly gravitate to that song. Oh, that's, you know, that's such and such. I gotta hear that, you know. Let me see how he flipped it. They like it, and that instantly made you a new fan because you flipped this certain person's track. Yes, now, mixtapes are albums. Yeah. Pretty much, they got some original songs. They got some now. They flip the other artist stuff sometimes now. If it depends, or they'll remix it, put the artist with them on it. Right. It's still beneficial, but it's stupid now because you're oversaturating the business. You're oversaturating the street with your stuff. Every month you got a new mixtape or a new mix album out, you know. I think, if you remember, back in the day, albums took damn near a year to come out. 6 months to a year, we'll say that. 6 months to a year before you got the next album.
Man, when they came out, it was like a big event.
Right, you like, oh man, that new Gangstar's coming out. I got to have that, you know. New Woo coming out, I got to have that. It took a year to sit down and put together something, and they eat off. Y'all ain't giving yourself a chance to eat off the product you just put out last month. Yeah. People still eating off of this, and then you put something on top of that, they forget about that real fast. Forget that last album to get the new album. So y'all screwing that up too, but to answer the original question, yeah, mixtapes are still, you know, relevant, and it helps. It helps a lot.
The benefits that I'm aware of is it's a great way to get your fan base stronger without necessarily having the responsibility of having to sell records to keep the lights on or to keep your label's lights on. You can work and get more hands-on with your fan base and growing your fan base around the world. There's upsides and downsides to that. It's like you can get sucked into a world of just making mixtapes where it's like you have all this music out and it's accessible and it's not necessarily sold as if it's important product. And you can get into that situation where you have all this music out, so when it's time for you to want to sell a record and want to put out an album and make money, people don't feel the need to do that because you're already too accessible putting out free music. So there's upsides and downsides, but to answer your question, which was, what are the upsides? The upside is it's a great way to build your fan base on your own terms and not on the corporation's terms or the label's terms or the company's terms. You build it on your own terms, and that's what's great about mixtapes. I see like that's why labels have artists that are on the label that are signed to put out mixtapes, and it's okay because they know that that's work that they may not do. So it's interesting how that works. There's always an upside to that.